Today we're delving into the world of lottery crime, where some individuals have taken their schemes to unimaginable levels of absurdity. None of these criminals thought out their harebrained plans fully, and most of their attempts led them straight into the arms of justice. From creating fake foreign lotteries to embezzling winnings from unsuspecting strangers, here are the dumbest lottery criminals of all time. Number 8. $4.4 million lotto winner goes straight to jail. Starting off with Barry Shell, whose life took an extraordinary turn when he won over $4 million in the Lotto 649 draw. He discovered his windfall while checking his ticket at a self-serve machine, and overwhelmed by the revelation, immediately signed the ticket. Soon after, he found himself at the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, or OLG, headquarters, posing happily with his giant check, a symbol of his newfound fortune. However, Barry's jubilation was short-lived. As he stepped out of the OLG building, his joy turned to shock when he found himself confronted by officers from the Peel Regional Police. Unbeknownst to Barry, a 6-year-old warrant had been hanging over his head for failing to appear in court on previous charges. The officers swiftly arrested him, and instead of celebrating his windfall, Barry spent his first night as a millionaire in police custody. The next day, Barry appeared in court and was released on a $1,500 bail, with a new court date set for July 30th in Brampton. Despite the dramatic turn of events, Barry has no immediate plans for his lottery winnings, according to a news release. Every lottery winner undergoes a security check by the OLG, and any issues are forwarded to the Ontario Provincial Police. Barry Shell, at 45, now faces the challenge of navigating his legal troubles while grappling with the life-altering impact of his sudden wealth. Number 7. Judge throws out some charges against lottery thieving brothers. Next up, in a curious turn of events, what seemed like a dream come true for two brothers turned into a legal nightmare that spanned several years. In 2006, at their father's convenience store, Andy Ashkar, 34, and Niall Ashkar, 36, found themselves embroiled in controversy over a winning lottery ticket. On October 27th of that year, a customer scratched off a ticket and discovered he'd won a substantial prize. However, what should have been a moment of celebration quickly took a darker turn. Andy Ashkar allegedly told the customer that the ticket was worth $5,000, pocketing $1,000 as a fee for the store and handing over $4,000 to the unsuspecting winner. The truth, however, was that the ticket was actually worth $5 million. For 6 long years, the brothers kept this secret, only to come forward on March 1, 2012, to claim the multi-million-dollar prize at the lottery office. As the truth unraveled, the brothers faced serious legal charges. Defense attorneys vigorously fought to have all the charges dropped, citing the statute of limitations. Judge Joseph Fahey, overseeing the case, ruled that the attempted grand larceny charges were indeed beyond the statute of limitations and dismissed them. He pointed out that the theft clearly occurred in 2006 and should have been prosecuted within 5 years. Despite this dismissal, the legal battle was far from over. The Ashkar brothers still faced other significant charges, including fourth-degree conspiracy. Andy Ashkar, in particular, found himself charged with criminal possession of stolen property in the first degree, a Class B felony that carries severe penalties. If convicted, he could face a minimum of 1 to 3 years and a maximum of 8 1/3 to 25 years in prison. The conspiracy charge, a Class E felony, could add another 1 1/3 to 4 years to their sentences. The case also ensnared their father, Niall Ashkar, who was indicted on conspiracy charges with his trial set to begin on September 9th. As the brothers prepare for their upcoming trial, the family finds itself at the center of a legal storm that highlights the long-reaching consequences of their actions. Number 6. Chinese man hacks lottery system, gets life in prison. In this next case, the lotto criminal may have actually gotten away with it if he'd just been a little smarter. In 2005, a Chinese man named Zhao stumbled upon a significant flaw in the welfare lottery 3D system. This system, intended to be a fair and exciting game of chance, had an unexpected vulnerability. It allowed tickets to be purchased with winning numbers within 5 minutes of their announcement. Zhao, an operator of 3 lottery stalls in Anshan, saw an opportunity. Zhao began to exploit this flaw with meticulous precision. Day after day, he purchased tickets that were guaranteed winners, knowing the numbers before making his purchases. His operation soon proved highly lucrative. Over time, Zhao managed to cash out a staggering 28 million yuan, equivalent to about 3.76 million USD, all acquired through these illicitly won tickets. However, pulling off such a large-scale fraud required more than just an understanding of the system. Zhao needed help to convert his fraudulent winnings into cash without raising suspicion. He turned to his neighbors and friends, enlisting their assistance to redeem the winning tickets at the welfare lottery center. These trusted individuals would then return the money to Zhao, playing a crucial role in his scheme. Despite their careful efforts, Zhao's fraudulent activities did not go unnoticed. The unusual pattern of prize claims eventually raised alarms at the lottery center. Investigations led to the discovery of the systemic fraud, and Zhao's luck ran out. In January, police arrested him, bringing his elaborate operation to an abrupt end. The legal repercussions for Zhao were severe. He was sentenced to life in prison for his crimes, and all of his property was confiscated. While the fate of his neighbors and friends remains uncertain, it's implied that they too might face legal consequences for their involvement in the scheme. Number 5. Clerk arrested in undercover lottery sting. Unlike the past few cases, police officers were onto these 2 lotto criminals from the start. It was an ordinary day at the Washington Lottery headquarters in Olympia when an unexpected incident unfolded, leading to the arrest of 2 women. This incident was not just a random occurrence, but the culmination of a carefully orchestrated sting operation designed to safeguard the integrity of the state lottery system. The story began at the city limits Deli Mart in Sumner, where an undercover lottery compliance officer presented a store employee with a specially designed winning ticket. The ticket was a decoy, crafted to test the honesty of those tasked with selling and redeeming lottery tickets. This particular ticket was worth a substantial 20 grand. However, when the employees scanned it, they informed the undercover officer that the ticket was worth only $50. After handing over $50 in cash, the employee kept the ticket, likely believing they had secured a significant windfall for themselves. The plot thickened when 2 women showed up at the Washington Lottery headquarters attempting to claim the $20,000 prize. Unbeknownst to them, their actions had already set off alarm bells. The compliance check at the city limits Deli Mart had revealed the ticket's true value and the suspicious circumstances surrounding its handling. As the women tried to cash in the fraudulent claim, officials at the lottery headquarters quickly alerted the Olympia police. The police responded promptly, and the women were arrested on the spot. This marked a significant milestone, as it was the first arrest stemming from the year-long compliance checks aimed at protecting consumers and ensuring the integrity of the lottery system. The incident underscored the importance of honesty in the handling of lottery tickets and the commitment of the authorities to consumer protection. In light of this event, lottery officials reminded the public to always verify the value of their winning tickets through official channels. They also emphasized that any prize over $600 should be cashed out at a regional lottery office to avoid potential fraud. Number 4. Maryland liquor store owner charged in lottery scam. One of the most shocking cases occurred in the quiet town of Dundalk, Maryland, when a trusted local business owner, Melissa Ann Stone, found herself at the center of a shocking lottery scam. Stone, the owner of Ross Liquors, was arrested and charged with grand theft, petty theft, and fraud after she was caught attempting to steal a $10,000 winning lottery ticket from an undercover agent. The trouble began when Stone attempted to deceive the undercover agent, who presented her with a $10,000 winning lottery ticket. Instead of celebrating the agent's good fortune, Stone falsely claimed that the ticket was not valid. Unbeknownst to her, the lottery terminal had already confirmed the ticket as a winner. Stone's plan took a further illicit turn when she tried to cash the ticket herself, a brazen move that ultimately led to her arrest. The response from the community was one of disbelief. Stone had built a reputation as a respected businesswoman, and her fall from grace left many in shock. Local business owners expressed their surprise and disappointment, unable to reconcile the charges with the person they thought they knew. Efforts to contact Stone for her side of the story proved unsuccessful, adding to the community's sense of bewilderment and betrayal. In the wake of these events, lottery director Stephen Martino emphasized the importance of maintaining public trust in the lottery system. He highlighted the rigorous integrity checks in place and offered valuable advice to lottery players. Always sign the back of your tickets and request the return of your tickets after verification. These steps, he noted, are crucial in preventing fraud. As the legal proceedings began, Stone was released on her own recognizance, given that this was her first arrest. Her trial was set for May 26th, a date that many in Dundalk would mark with a mix of anticipation and sorrow. Ross Liquors, a staple of the community since 1982, now faced an uncertain future without its lottery services. Despite the gravity of the charges against her, Stone was released on her own recognizance, a reflection of her previously clean legal record. The unfolding legal drama has cast a long shadow over Ross Liquors, a fixture in Dundalk since 1982. As the community awaits the trial, the story of Melissa Ann Stone serves as a cautionary tale about the high stakes of seemingly small actions. Number 3. Lottery winner indicted on 31 counts. Frederick McMenamin's life seemed to be the epitome of fortune after winning $1.4 million in a lottery jackpot back in 2005. However, behind the facade of success lurked a darker reality, one that would eventually lead to a series of legal battles and a trail of shattered trust. As a former financial advisor from Exeter, New Hampshire, McMenamin was entrusted with the financial well-being of others. Yet allegations began to surface, revealing McMenamin's true nature. It all started with Susan Wagstaff, a trusting widow who sought McMenamin's guidance for her investments, and later claimed that he allegedly siphoned $900,000 from her under the guise of investment, leaving her family financially devastated. After Wagstaff's claim, others came forward as well, including McMenamin's own family, who accused him of stealing $1.5 million from his late uncle. Federal prosecutors didn't take these accusations lightly. They built a case against McMenamin, resulting in a 31-count indictment that included charges of money laundering, tax evasion, and fraud. Their investigation unveiled a disturbing pattern. McMenamin allegedly targeted vulnerable individuals, particularly widows, exploiting their trust and siphoning over $1 million in total. What's more shocking is that he allegedly funneled this money into a bank account in Kittery, Maine, under the guise of investment opportunities that promised high returns. But McMenamin's misdeeds didn't stop there. Despite his lottery windfall, he found himself embroiled in a myriad of legal disputes spanning nearly 2 decades. Lawsuits, restraining orders, and now federal charges painted a bleak picture of a man who squandered both his luck and integrity. Number 2. Lottery lawyer sentenced to prison. In a shocking turn of events, Jason Kurland, once hailed as the go-to lawyer for lottery winners, now faces a grim reality as he receives a 13-year prison sentence. His partner in crime, Christopher Ciarcio, isn't spared either, handed down a 5-year sentence. Both are also mandated to undergo 3 years of supervised release, marking the end of their high-flying schemes. Their scheme wasn't just about deceiving their clients. It was a well-calculated manipulation. Kurland presented himself as the ultimate authority on managing lottery windfalls, enticing clients to invest in his businesses. Behind the scenes, Kurland and Ciarcio lived a life of excess, fueled by kickbacks from their investments. Luxury cars, extravagant vacations, and opulent parties became the norm, as they squandered their ill-gotten gains without remorse. Their downfall came through a series of incriminating text messages and calls, laying bare their arrogant plotting. Discussions of funneling money and manipulating investments were captured in damning detail, leaving no doubt about their guilt. Even a global pandemic wasn't enough to stop these crooks. Instead, COVID-19 provided yet another avenue for exploitation. Kurland and Chierchio attempted to profit from the crisis, pressuring clients to invest more while also orchestrating the theft of 19.5 mil from a lottery winner's bank account. Even in times of global crisis, their greed remained unchecked. Despite their attempts to maintain anonymity, their misdeeds caught up with them. Testimony from a Mega Millions winner played a crucial role in their downfall, further exposing the extent of their fraud. The legal consequences for these two are now pretty severe. Kurland is ordered to forfeit a staggering $64.6 million, while Chierchio faces a forfeiture of $26.55 million. The court is yet to determine the extent of restitution owed by the duo, marking the beginning of a long road to atone for their crimes. Number 1. Nigerian lottery scammer sentenced to 14 years. The worst lotto scammer on this list deservedly got the longest prison sentence. Emmanuel I. Onwuzulike, known as Tony Moore, crafted an intricate web of deceit that ensnared Californians in a devastating Nigerian lottery scam. Operating under aliases, he preyed on unsuspecting individuals, promising riches from fictitious foreign lotteries. Onwuzulike's scheme came crashing down as legal proceedings unfolded. He admitted guilt to one count of mail fraud, a charge that would ultimately earn him a whopping 14-year sentence in federal prison. U.S. District Judge Dale S. Fisher, delivering justice, also mandated that he make restitution to his victims, attempting to alleviate some of the financial wreckage left in his wake. The impact of Onwuzulike's actions reverberated deeply among those he deceived. One victim, driven to financial ruin after surrendering over $368,000 in supposed taxes, lost her home. Prosecutors painted a poignant picture of the emotional and financial devastation suffered by many, as a stark reminder of the human toll behind the headlines. Assistant U.S. Attorney Ellen M. Lindsay vowed a relentless pursuit of justice against foreign scammers targeting Americans. By securing harsh sentences like Onwuzulike's, they sought to erect barriers against future fraudulent endeavors, shielding vulnerable individuals from similar fates. Their expertise in prosecuting international fraudsters served as a beacon of reassurance for victims worldwide. The nature of Onwuzulike's scam laid bare the cunning tactics employed to manipulate victims. Operating with a London-based syndicate, he and his cohorts fabricated elaborate fronts, such as Euromillones Lotteria Internationale and the EU Anti-Terrorism Commission. These facades masked their true intentions, as victims were coerced into paying fictitious taxes and fees to claim non-existent winnings. Among those most susceptible to such deceit were seniors, their vulnerabilities ripe for exploitation. Loneliness, cognitive decline, and the yearning for companionship made them easy targets for predators like Onwuzulike. In their concluding statement, prosecutors emphasized the gravity of Onwuzulike's crimes and their enduring impact, as the lives of his victims will be forever altered.